Why is the term door slam used when describing an INFJ personality? But before I can answer, please consider subscribing to the channel so Mike Cernovich and David Pacman can finally come out of the closet, much to the chagrin of Ali Alexander, and hit the alert bell so you can get notified when I go live. That being said, what's up, Ego Hackers? This is the C.S. Joseph Podcast. I'm C.S. Joseph, here to respond to your questions on any topic, Jungian analytical psychology or the four sides of the mind. And the source of today's question is Shania Husky again. Arsha Tapa and INFJ. Let's say you argued with your sibling, then they walked out of your room, so you slammed the door out of anger. Next day you see your sibling coming to your room, and you immediately slam the door before your sibling gets to enter. In both cases, it's obvious you don't want them in your space, and your room is your space in this case. INFJ's door slam is similar to that, except it's a lot more complicated. Door slamming for an INFJ can happen mentally too. Basically, it's cutting people off. However, in every case, it may not be possible to have a reality door slam, so that's when a mental door slam comes in. They may be talking to you, but they may have already cut you off internally. It's like that. It could be a temporary or permanent, and it's usually mostly permanent when it comes to INJs. It is the worst thing they can do to someone, but they also see no other way out, especially when they are hurt. It's rude and merciless. Once an INFJ hits the door slam button on in their mind, the other person is as good as dead. Even if an INFJ see them every single day, they won't really care. A lot of people see this, may see this happening all of a sudden and find it dramatic, but this is an extreme measure, and INFJs don't do it until they feel like it's too much. So if an INFJ door slams you, it's safe to say things were piling up for some time. Usually INFJs do the door slam to deal with pain. It's impossible for them to feel the other way until they're over those emotions. Yeah, but they can also be super irresponsible doing that and jump to conclusions with their extrovert intuition nemesis. And then because of those assumptions they're making about the other person, instead of communicating with that person anything that they actually did wrong, they're just going to door slam them anyway because they're making the assumption that nothing can actually be done to begin with. And it's insanely entitled and insanely selfish, and I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of that. INFJs, stop believing just about anything about other people. It's really annoying. How about you actually start going out there and verifying your beliefs of other people and actually take the time and effort to make sure that the person is definitely someone you should be door slamming instead of jumping to conclusions. I'm not saying all INFJs do this, but most INFJs do this because most INFJs are immature AF, and it's really frustrating when I have to deal with this constantly on a daily basis. Oh, and not only that, INFJs are very conveniently oftentimes forget how much you have contributed to them, and then they door slam you anyway. Yeah, hashtag ENFP shadow entitlement. I am so tired of it. And this is one of the ways that INFJs are bloody hypocrites. And I enjoy pointing out this hypocrisy to them on a consistent basis because of how annoying this is to me. Unbelievable. They need to start asking themselves, wait a minute, why would this person want to be loyal to me? Yeah, maybe they should ask that question, because if that's how they're going to behave, this is not something I can support. INFJs see it as a way of protecting themselves. Sure they do. And keeping themselves sane. Sure they do. If INFJs didn't do this, I bet they would lose balance and grow a lot of toxicity in forms of other people around them. No, it's not that they would grow a lot of toxicity in forms of their own and people around them. No. They would grow toxicity inside themselves, and they would actually start to self-harm through their introverted sensing demon. They would literally start to self-harm at that point. Self-destruct, light themselves on fire, and hoping that somebody would actually notice because they feel trapped. And this is one of the reasons why they do door slams. And door slamming can be healthy, but most of the time, door slamming is unhealthy, at least in my personal experience. You may disagree with me on that. But then again, do INFJs unhealthily door slam everyone around them? Or is it just specific people that get close to them? I think oftentimes seeing an INFJ who's like super mega depressed may actually be because the people that they allow to get close to them, they oftentimes end up door slamming them for the wrong, unverified reasons. And then it's like, oh crap, I've just alienated everyone in my life and now I'm alone and that's my fault. So I'm just going to be super depressed and have like a huge self-destruct pity party on my hands. Great. Well, that's actually very common with INFJs as well. So INFJs, make sure you're watching out for that. If you don't, you have to make for absolute sure that door slamming somebody is the right decision. And you do this by making sure to verify people on a regular basis. Yeah, like I'm very passionate about this topic. I'm upvoting that post. That's a great post. And now my official response as to why is the term door slam used when describing an INFJ personality? Okay, so here's the thing. INFJs, through their FI critic and their extrovert sensing inferior, they go out of their way to perform for other people. Sometimes an INFJ covert contracts other people by expecting other people to be loyal to them and expecting other people to stick around for them as a result of their performing highly for that person. The problem is the INFJ seldom ever actually tells anybody that, and it just becomes an expectation that they never even tell other people about. That's called covert contract manipulation. All extroverted sensing inferiors do this, INTJs included, and they're my golden pair. And the INFJ is my pedagogue type, and it's one of the things that really annoys me about them, because it's like, why do I have to be obligated to you if you're going to perform for me? Like, how about you just perform for me for the sake of performing for me without expecting something in return? And INFJs get super transactional about their relationships because they're interest-based, because they're like, well, what's Chase getting out of it compared to what am I getting out of it? You know, and everything is super transactional with them. Whereas with an INTJ, at least they're systematic, and it's possible that they could give to me for the sake of giving to me without expecting something in return, but that's not as likely to happen with an INFJ. I often have to deal with that crap with an INFJ friend or intimate relationship or whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's consistent, even with friends. And it's really, really annoying. And not only that, it gets even worse because their SI demon conveniently forgets all of my contributions, my FE child contributions to the INFJ to begin with. They're just actually more just sad that they no longer have my attention, and I'm not obligated to give them my attention either. Just because you perform for me doesn't mean you get. That doesn't mean you are entitled to my or anyone else's attention for that matter. And then you decide to just door slam me for that? Come on. Come on. This is actually extremely consistent with almost every relationship or friendship I have had with INFJs. And actually, currently in my life, I don't have any INFJ friends, and I think it's because I'm absolutely tired of this, and it's super, super annoying. And then for them to door slam me anyway, even though they're not willing to verify their bad beliefs about me, they're not going to give me my day in court and allow me to either defend myself or have a voice. They just take my voice away and door slam me. NFPs are also heavily annoyed by INFJs who do this to them on a consistent basis. Please, folks, please don't do this to people. INFJs, you're supposed to be better than this. At least ghost me first. So why does an INFJ need to be door slamming people? It's because their extroverted sensing inferior gets so wrapped up in the intentions of other people, and their FI critic makes them feel bad about themselves and criticizes their self-worth, and their extroverted feeling parents self-deprecation, and that TI child, which will just think about any input that is given to it whatsoever, and their TE trickster is able to believe just about anything about a person, they understand that they are heavily open to emotional or even thought manipulation from other people. INFJs, while they have the capacity of being some of the strongest of all the types through their ESTP subconscious development, INFJs are actually extremely weak to manipulation, extremely weak to emotional manipulation and in manipulating their FI critic and manipulating their thoughts through TI manipulation by manipulating their TI using a TE function or emulating a TE function. They're extremely manipulatable in front of to that. They're also easily manipulated through their SE inferior. All you have to do is just start telling them to their face about how they perform well and how they make you comfortable and all those things, and how you want to be loyal to them, or how you're going to stick around, or how you want to stick around and see more around them. And like, I'm telling you folks, panties drop at that point. It's super, super easy, and they know how easy it is. Therefore, in order to survive, so that they're not easily taken advantage of by other people, they have to door slam people. The problem is that they are imbalanced. they door slam too much or they door slam too little, and they don't know how to keep a balance. Door slamming, they have to cut that person out of their life because they will not be able to stop thinking about them because their NI hero cannot let go. This is a problem with INTJs as well. They just can't go. I have an INTJ-X who we only went on one date, one time, and she still can't let go of me years later. It's really interesting how NI hero is. Now, NI hero not letting go, that, I mean, any heroes like that. It really do likes it. But the thing is, it can become absolutely dangerous. Dangerous to the NI hero person themselves because they're literally harming themselves with their introverted sensing demon. It's really, really frustrating to me to watch them do that, to watch them self-destruct. I literally watched my INFJ-X cut herself with a knife in front of me. I grabbed that knife from her, threw it across the room, and I just held her, hugged her while trying to stop the bleeding, at the same time crying my face off, and while yelling at her for being so stupid, because it is actually stupid. And it's like, why are you doing this? You can't do this. And it's just because they just don't have a hard time valuing themselves because they so desperately need someone to stick around and so desperately need someone to actually value them and take concrete actions and listen to them. The problem is most people don't because a lot of people either overlook them. I mean, like, I remember my INFJ-X telling me all the time, wow, my name is Cassandra, and she hated that name because that name literally means the prophet that no one listens to, which is an INFJ. She was named appropriately because that's who she is. And then she changed her name to something else because she couldn't handle it. Gosh, I'm so tired of being used to INJs using fake names. I hate it. I hate that about INFJs and INTJs so much. It's so annoying, that expert intuition nemesis. And it's like, oh yeah, I want to be in a sexual relationship with an ENTP, but then it's like, but I don't want to trust that ENTP and give that ENTP, their number one need, which is trust, by trusting them with my real name. If any INJ does that to me, I automatically door slam them and I cut them from my life and I tell them we can't ever be friends or have any interaction whatsoever because you're using a fake name. And if I find out you're using a fake name, you cannot have anything to do with me because I absolutely hate that trait that they are utilizing, and it's really frustrating. So anyway, door slam is how they protect themselves. They need to door slam and allow INJs, especially INFJs, to door slam. You have to allow it to happen. Except INJs, please be responsible with your door slam and door slam responsibly. Try to ghost them first. Give them chances. Test them. And after like 3 opportunities, they're still exhibiting that really poor behavior, get them out of your life. Because remember, in order for you to not be a corrupt human being, you have to get the losers out of your life. All right? Super important. If you'd like a chance at your question being answered on this channel, please post it on Quora and tag me or leave it as a comment below. If you want deep dive premium lectures on this science that focus on personal growth, career development, parenting, or sexuality, please visit csjoseph.life/members and grab yourself an apprentice membership. Anyway, with all that being said, folks, I'll see you guys tonight.